Greetings, everybody. Amar here, and I'm looking at the Powerball $750 million drawing. It's a little late. I didn't really get to the file. I actually deleted it by accident, so I had to redo what I did so I could analyze it. I'm not really going to make selections here. I'm just going to review some of these numbers that came in here. Okay, this is the only number that I got right, the 26. I was looking at 5 for a regular white ball. Interesting enough, it came in as the red ball. So I marked the numbers drawn that came out here. It was 24, 25. Now, one thing I didn't mention regarding my strategy with the 5 is that when you use this spread, right, this is a spread of 21. Okay, it could be just a coincidence that it's a Fibonacci number, but generally the proper way to use this spread, okay, is if you have a good feeling the 5 is going to come out, all right, you would then select the 5, okay, like this, and then since smaller gaps are more likely to come out based on the mathematical distribution, you would play something like this: 5, 6, 7. That would be in your wheel. Okay. So if you have a repeat of if you have a gap 0 or a neighboring pair of 5, 6 or a gap 1 of 5, 7, that's very good. So these are larger gaps, right? This is a gap from 5 to 10 is a gap of 4. But the way that I'm supposed to do it, or way I should have done it, or could have done it, would usually do it. Now remember, again, this works more for the lower odd games because they the numbers are just less spread out. But if you know that if you think the 5 is going to come out, you would do 5, 6, 7, and then you'd cover the spread. You would then put here, let's see, copy, paste. Where's my paste? Paste, special, all. Okay. So this would be here is 23. So you would do something like 23, 24, 25, 26. So you're covering the end markers of the spread, okay? And then you're looking to get some of the numbers in between. Now the 24 here was, I had mentioned it. If you watch the video, I mentioned it, and I didn't mark it. And the reason why I mentioned it, because it was the 10-11 symmetry, right? So now you have here 1, 2, 3 dormant periods for the 24. The 25 came in as a reverse flag. It was 10-5, right? So now this is a repeat. So I'm just going to hold these numbers still, all right? So now I have the way the spread is supposed to work properly, right? 5, 6, 7, 23, 24, 25, 26. And then I'm going to bring these numbers here in the middle, okay? That's the way it's supposed to work, all right? So I'm not changing any of the numbers, the selections. Basically, it's all going to work the same. So this, instead of being 830, it would be 831. My cousin didn't do another workout. I told him, I said, don't bother. Just play the same numbers over again. You know, his 30 numbers are as good as his previous 30 numbers, so why change things? So those would remain the same. Now, one thing I did want to test here is because if this was the 24, 25 that came out, all right, and this was the other numbers here, 52, 60, 66. So I copy, I'm going to bring this over here because I want to see how the measurement worked. That same measurement, the measurement of 20 and the measurement of 20, measurement of 21, the spread of 21, meaning the difference, meaning the fifth number subtracted to the first number. That's the spread, okay? Some people call it the spray, the difference. So for pick 5, it would be, to trap 4 numbers, would be 21 plus or minus. So 20, 21, 22. And I'm looking at the, for pick 6, to trap 5, it's like 30-31, right? I have to redo that because that was something I did a long time ago, and I'm bringing that forward for my pick 6. So if you take the measurement, all right, copy here from 24-25, right, and you measure 20 down, it doesn't take you anywhere. But if you copy the 30 from the 24-25, it brings you to the 22. So you could feasibly trap 3 numbers if you were able to pick the 24 as your first number if you selected it, right? But I wasn't looking at the 10-11 symmetry. I was looking at the streak here. So this streak is 6-4-8-4 now. So you still have the symmetry. The 4 is now symmetrical to the 4. Remember, this is not a 3 anymore. This is the past drawing. So all these numbers go up by 1, except the numbers that are drawn, like the 24-25. These numbers would shift 1 to the left. The 10, so they would shift 1 to the left, and then you'd have a 0 here for the current skip. So I looked at the 24-25, and then all right. So the 52, 60, 66. So over here, this is the high side. So the 52 was a reverse intermediate, right? It's not a reverse flag, but it's still a reverse pattern. And I call it intermediate. Intermediate wasn't in the Lottery Master Guide. I tried to talk to this, ask Gail Howard about these things, but she just never answered any of my replies. I'd always get Tara, and she'd say, "Oh, I'll forward the question to Gail," and I never got an answer. So anyway, it's reverse. It's not a reverse flag. It's reverse intermediate. On my drawing sense hint chart, I color those yellow, whereas my cousin, he's coloring yellow the skip 2s. So anyway, 52 is reverse. And you see, the 15-8 is a reverse intermediate pattern, and here's the 25-7. It's another reverse intermediate. Okay, so you had a reverse here and a reverse here. So this number, the 52, its current trend is to hit in a reverse pattern. All right. I didn't pick that. He didn't pick that either. But since I'm going to be holding these numbers for this drawing Wednesday, which I won't be playing, I'm going to bring the 52 here. I'm going to color it black because this is going to be the number I'm going to select. Now I'm going to keep the 50. I'm going to keep the 50. Now you have 50-52, which is a gap 1, which is good because by distribution, smaller gaps occur more often. Just the way distribution, smaller skips occur more often. So the 50 now here, it came in reverse, 21-7-7, and now it's a 1 instead of a 0. Okay, all these skips should also go up by 1. So for instance, if we look at the number, where is it? The number 48. It's now a new dormant period. So you had 32-26 was a little streak, and then you now skip 10. So I would look and see 10 if there's any symmetry to any of the skips here, and there isn't really. So basically the only ones to really look at is like this 41, okay, is now a 10. But 10 is still symmetrical to the 9 and the 9 over here. So I'm going to add a number, which will be the 40. So we'll put that here, 40 for Wednesday. And yeah, this is a little late. The time, I believe now, it's 10:02, so it's like an hour to the drawing. So most of you aren't going to be able to see this, but you can try to learn the logic that I'm using for these numbers. And tomorrow's supposed to be warm, like going to be 60 degrees, so I might go to the store, take a walk. It's kind of far, and it also depends what numbers come out. I'm going to have to see where I am as far as my workout and where my money is concerned, or I might just play the pick 4 or the cash 5, even though I don't really like that game because it's computerized. So anyway, I'm going to bring the 39 back here. So the 39. I added the 40. Wait, no, 40. Wrong number. Let me see, 40. No, sorry, that's supposed to be a 41. All right, because the 41 is now a 10. It's a 10, 9, 9, where this 25 is now a 26. So keeping the 39 out of the 40, keeping the 50, keeping the 52, because you also got to realize is that in accord with the distributions, again, repeats are going to occur the most, all right, mathematically for some reason. Somebody else is going to have to discover the math or the reasoning for it, but you can observe it. So you have all these zeros here indicate repeats, so they do happen. The problem with the repeat is that logic says, no, the number hit, it's not going to hit again, right? So you have to use your intuition that says, okay, it happens, so you have to push yourself to play the repeat. And a lot of times you have to challenge your logic and say, look, okay, the logic says if the number is cold, it's going to come out, but it doesn't always come out right away. It could take, and especially with the Powerball, it could take years. You could be chasing your birthday number, and it might not come out for years. All right, so like for instance, if you look at this 49 here, this 49, it was just it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dormant periods, and then it had a skip of 1. Now, would you think it was going to have a skip of 1 after 5 dormant periods? No, you wouldn't. You say, okay, it's really cold. It's not gonna hit again that fast. And then it went 1, 6. So this is technically still in a streak, 1, 7. But it gets dangerous because 1, 6 is the limit in the flag formation, right? So that's why I call the 7 the intermediate, because it's broken out of the flag, and it's kind of, and I color it yellow because it's like a stoplight. It's dangerous. So you gotta be cautioned because it's now in an upstroke. All right, upstrokes are fundamentally more dangerous than downstrokes because an upstroke goes up towards infinity, right? A downstroke can only go down to 0. Um, and if you're going to think about ROI, you're going to chase an upstroke, you're going to be, spending a lot of money. And I think that might be why Gail Howard called it an exhaustion break, because if you're going to chase a cold number on an upstroke in an exhaustion, the main thing you're going to be exhausting is your wallet. And you don't want to do that. So let's see here. So the other number I picked correct was the 60. Now the 60 I had noticed because the 46-48 symmetry. Now this is a long, long, long bottom. It's like ridiculous. These are really hard to grasp. There's a new chart in Advantage Gold that helps you to do it, but you can see it right here, but you'd have to look really closely. So 46-48 was the symmetry, and I'm gonna say fuck it. We're gonna bring it forward again for the repeat, because you know you're gonna have a repeat eventually. So we're gonna hold that number for the repeat. And then the 66 was a 30-17. So it's a long skip. It's a downstroke. You had the 60. So what is that? 66. So it skipped 17. Now it's 0. It's really hard to tell about the repeaters. You just have to know that the number is always going to repeat. Usually it's the first and second number or the fifth number. Those are the best numbers to go for a repeat. So I'm going to throw in the 66 again. I'm just going to, oh wait, no, I didn't play the 66. Alright, let's leave the 66. We kept the 60, we kept the 52 as repeat. But, well, that's why it's good to have a positional repeater chart. I don't know if anybody out there makes a positional repeater chart. I make them myself. They're really, really labor intensive and a pain in the ass to do. And I don't have one handy for this game. But it does work well. So anybody who has a positional repeater chart out there, let me know in the comments, because definitely it's a chart that should be added to a program. I was going to mention to Joe to add it, but I was getting an odd vibe, so I haven't said anything about it. Anyway, so where are we here? 66. Now, one thing I did notice here is this. Is that there was number 67, right? So you had 3 dormant periods here, 1, 2, 3. So you had 22, 22. So I'm going to look for a hot skip here off the 22. So off this 66, I'm going to look for a 67. So I'm going to copy this, bring this down, paste. So let's see, 67. And I'm just going to see here. So we'll put here total numbers, total number. Do just a little simple formula here, which is just equal count. And then you just do the range here. Hit the little check mark. So the total numbers I have on the high side right now is 6. Right? And then going back to the low side, let me save it just in case. I'm saving it, and then we'll go back to the low side and do the same deal here, which is going to be just total number. Put it right there. Equal count, and put the range here from the top, from 1 to 34. Actually, you know what I did? I don't want to do that. All right, hit the check. I put it in the 24 spot. So let me drag it down, and then here drag it to 34. Hit the check. All right, so I got 14 numbers on the low side, basically just running the numbers, and 6 numbers on the high side. So that's 20 numbers total for the wheel, and I still haven't looked at where am I? I still haven't looked at the bonus ball, and I'm not going to look at it. It's too late, and it doesn't matter. I don't really care. So yeah. All right, so that's that for that analysis, that workout. I'm going to track these numbers for a little bit longer, see what happens. So I actually added 24. Well, do I really? Well, this is the first and second number, so I'll put them into repeat. Generally, I think the best numbers to repeat are the first and second and the fifth. All right, but a positional repeater chart will help you to isolate that. And there's even more advanced chart that I have, but it's a real pain in the ass to make. It takes about a half an hour to make for one particular pattern. So with all these patterns, I could be doing it all day. So I really have to prioritize to do it. And but I think it's a good chart, and I'm going to try to do it for some of the lower odds games to see if somebody can get a Gail Howard jackpot this year with my adaptations, theoretical adaptations that I've made, and my interpretations from the book. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Question, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Hit like. Check out my group on Facebook, Amar Gail Howard Lotto. And that's about it for now. So anyway, good luck and happy number hunting. And whoop, before we do that, this should be under the Wednesday column here. Alright, it's the Wednesday column, and this should be here also. Hey, what happened? Okay, we gotta drag you over here. Alright, there you go. 14. Alright, so Wednesday, and today is what, the 27th it is? Copy. Paste. 327. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.